First off, I just wanted to thank the Washington Capitals for the tribute that they gave Ed Snyder before the game. That was a class act, and it was awesome. But on to the game. The Capitals drew first blood, 2-0 win over the Flyers, Game 1, Eastern Conference quarterfinal series. Caleb Weiler is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. We're here to talk about it. Just going to do a quick little recap of the game. So first, overall thoughts on the loss.
It was a really disappointing game. The Flyers came out on all cylinders. They came out. They didn't give up any goals in the first period, but they didn't score either. They really lost the momentum after those 3 power plays they had. You know, you would think they have Ghost, they have Drew and Voracek, Simmons, all powerhouse guys on that first power play unit, and they just came out flat there. So really lost the momentum there. Second period comes around, the Capitals score a goal. Again, Flyers slowly losing momentum. And then what the real kicker is and the turning point is when Simmons went into that fight at the end of the game. Totally unnecessary, and then that just sealed the game for the Caps.
Wow, we don't even need to do the rest of the show because you just pretty much summarized everything right there. But we could delve into everything just a little bit further. The one thing I did want to talk about to start the show, it appears that Sean Couturier is out for the rest of the series, an upper body injury. It looked like he had something with his left arm there, took a hit from Ovechkin into the boards. But loss for the series, how big of a loss is it to, have him out?
That is a huge loss. I saw a stat that when Couturier and Ovechkin are on the ice together, 71% of the goals go towards the Flyers' favor. So that's a huge loss right there. Coots is just really able to shut down anybody defensively. He's a huge player on this team. It's really going to hurt the Flyers. I really think that the Flyers are really going to have to buckle down if they want to be able to win this series.
Yeah. I mean, it was Game 1. This was the game to get. For any sport that has like a 5-game, 7-game series, Game 1 is the one that you have to steal. And Flyers couldn't get it done, and they really, really had their chance in the first period. That opening period, they had 3 power plays, and they just couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, like you said, the Capitals basically handed the game to the Flyers on a silver platter. 3 power plays right in the first period, and the Flyers just could not capitalize. It was right there for the taking. You can steal that game from a Caps team that traditionally does not do well in the playoffs. So they give you that chance. The refs and the Capitals give you 3 power plays, no goals, and that just swings the momentum back to the team who killed all those penalties. Really poor effort from the Flyers there.
Yeah, I mean, the power play, they were getting a couple more chances than they have been the last couple games. I mean, the power play unit has been so bad, trouble getting going, but at least they did get some chances there.
Yeah, they did, which was good to see, and I think that they're really going to go hard moving forward. I think the power play is something they need to work on in practice. Like you said, the first unit has been really awful over the last month or so. The second unit's kind of picking up the slack, but going into the playoffs, you really need that first unit humming, and it's just not happening right now. But I really think once they can get it all together, the Flyers will be able to have that first power play unit scoring some goals for them.
Yeah. And then the second period came along, third period came along. The Capitals started to, gain the momentum, and they started taking control of the game. And, Steve Mason could only do so much.
Yeah, Mason was one of the only 3 Flyers that came to play today. It was really frustrating to see the team in front of him just kind of give up on him. He stood on his head all game. Nothing he could do about the John Carlson goal. It deflects off Van de Velde and Bellemare, goes right into the net. Nothing Mason can do about that. And then the second goal, Voracek with a nasty turnover in the neutral zone, 3-on-2, quick goal right in the back of the net. Nothing Mason could do on either of those goals. His team really let him down today.
Yeah, your boy Voracek just bringing the heat there with the terrible turnover there. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, Wayne Simmons. What in the hell are you doing getting in that fight? Could have had a power play. Instead, sent off for the rest of the game. Not only sent off for the rest of the game because he's important for the team, but you take away the power play as well, even though I don't know where that roughing penalty came from.
Yeah, that was a really shaky call. I didn't see roughing anywhere there. There was definitely a boarding on Tom Wilson on Andrew McDonald. He hit him numbers into the boards, which is definitely a boarding call. It could have been a 5-minute major too, but the refs are trying to even up those penalties. Flyers got 3 power plays in the first, 1 in the second, and then the Capitals also had 4 power plays moving on from that point as well. I really think Simmons was not thinking clearly there. Yeah, your player just got hit, but it's a 1-0 game right now. The Capitals aren't playing that well. They're kind of uneasy on their skates. They had been taking over, but this is a chance to shift the momentum back in the Flyers' favor, and Simmons just threw that out the window.
Yeah. Oh, man. Terrible there. And I want to get back to the power play situation because they had this stat there on television there, on Comcast Sportsnet. Over the last 20 games, the Flyers had 77 power plays, only shorthanded 45 times. That's the plus 32 advantage there. They had the 3 power plays in the opening period, but only 1 after that. And in the last 2 periods, the Capitals had 6. Now, you were talking about how, shoddy the officiating was tonight. What were your thoughts on that?
The officiating was not that good tonight. I think either you need to let them play or you need to call the game tight. And at certain points of the game, it was called tight, and at certain points in the game, they let them play. In the third period, there were 3 calls right in a row that were missed on the Capitals end, and then Ghost and one of the Capitals players go off for congruent minors, 4-on-4 play then. But leading up to that, it was really difficult to see where the refs were coming from. Sometimes you can see, okay, that was definitely a penalty, or that was definitely not a penalty. But they were calling some penalties that were shoddy and then leaving other things go that were kind of in the same vein. So it was really hard to see the refs were coming from. I'm really hoping we don't get stuck with them for the rest of the series.
Yeah. 31-19 in shots. Capitals really just they pretty much dominated the game, like I said, from the second period on. So game 2, what are the Flyers going to have to do to get back in this series?
Yeah, well, I'm going to assume that Scott Laughton's going to get some playing time now that Couturier is going to be out for the rest of the series. That's going to be a really hard void to fill because nobody else on the Flyers, besides possibly Giroux, would be able to shut down that top line. And you don't want Giroux out there defending against the top line. You want them out there scoring goals. So I think right now you need to figure out who's going to shut down that top line offensively and defensively, because now you're going to need to have a full team effort to do that. And the first line needs to show up. We don't need Simmons making stupid plays anymore. We need Voracek to keep the puck on a stick and not make turnovers. And that whole first line was really just invisible the entire game. My recommendation would be to put Schenn back on the top line because Giroux, Schenn, and Simmons had some major chemistry going into the playoffs, and I don't understand why Hextall had mixed up the lines there when they were playing so well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the lines shuffle with Couturier out, but I really think, bar down, the Flyers need to figure out how they're going to, as a team, shut down Ovechkin, Backstrom, and Oshie, and how they're going to be able to score goals in the next game.
Yeah, that kind of brings me to my next point. I thought Giroux was a little bit of a no-show tonight, and Gostisbehere didn't have a great game either.
Yeah, there were a couple plays on the power play specifically where Giroux and Voracek just did not, or excuse me, Giroux and Gostisbehere just did not seem in sync. Some pucks bouncing over Gostisbehere's stick, errant passes, they just were not on the same wavelength today like they normally are. It was really difficult to see that. I really think that Giroux's going to get his head back into it. And like they had in the Penguins series last time they were in the playoffs, Giroux's going to come out. He's going to kick some butt. I think he's really going to take it out there. We're going to see some fire in his eyes, and he's going to play a really good game too.
Yeah, got to get some jam out there. Got to get some jam. He just needs to get that big hit to get him going, and then that's when he scores 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, exactly. We're really seeing that from Brayden Schenn right now, too. I think he was one of the other Flyers that really showed up today. He was hitting everything that moved. He was just trying to get his teammates moving. I just want to throw a plug in for Radko Gudas, too, who I think played a really solid game. I think those are the only 3 Flyers to really show up today, which is really disappointing, seeing as we have a lot of firepower on the back end and on the offensive end. So it's going to be a really interesting next couple of games.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it for the recap. I didn't want to make this long, but in some lighthearted news, God, now I'm blanking, but I saw something really, really funny on Twitter today. You ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
I have.
Mr. Larson?
I have not seen it in so long, yeah.
Mr. Larson's like the guy with the nail in his head.
Okay, yeah.
There was a post today. Someone on Twitter tweeted out a picture of side by side of Ovechkin and Mr. Larson next to each other, and they look like twins.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So there you go. So yeah, so brought back memories. I'm gonna have to watch Happy Gilmore now after the show.
Yeah, there you go. Especially since he uses that hockey stick as a putter. Some correlation right there between the Flyers and Happy Gilmore.
There you go. So that's it for this one. I mean, we just had a 2-man crew tonight. We weren't gonna, make this too long. Just get something out there, get some content for you guys. Get Caleb's thoughts on the game. We'll see what we do with Game 2. We're not going to be able to do anything Saturday night. We do have lives. We do have, girlfriends and things to do. But maybe something on Sunday. We'll see. But, yeah.
Yep. And I just want to give a final thought real quick. Today's my dad's birthday. So happy birthday to him. It was Adele's birthday last week. My dad's birthday today. So no more birthdays in April. So no more final thoughts after that one.
Well, hopefully the Flyers don't have any more playoff games on your dad's birthday, because today was a stinker.
Yeah, today was awful. Definitely disappointing. I look for a huge bounce back effort Saturday. It's going to be
got to get it. Got to get that game if they want to have a shot, I think. So got to steal that one game at the Verizon Center. Shit, man. They had it tonight. They had a shot in that first period, just couldn't put that pressure on the Capitals. It's like they have all that playoff history, all the ineptitude, the choke jobs, and they really had that shot, just to get that goal on the board, just to put the pressure on, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, definitely disappointing. The Flyers had all the chances in the world to steal that game in the first period and kind of just gave it back to the Caps. I think the Capitals kind of smell blood in the water now, and they're just going to go after the Flyers with everything they got. It's going to be hard for the Flyers to get back into this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in Game 2 Saturday night. With that being said, Caleb Weiler, I'm Adrian Fedke. Just a short one tonight. Unfortunately, it resulted into a 2-0 Flyers loss, but hopefully Ed up top, he's watching, and hopefully he can sway the momentum back on the Flyers side. Go Flyers, baby. See you later.